So, Jeff, let's start with Matt Stafford. He's been tasked with leading the Rams to heights that Jared Goff could not get them to. So Stafford's yardage total is set at 4,700 and a half yards. Can he hit that over?
Oh boy. I mean, yeah, tough one right here off the bat. I mean, you want to give Matt Stafford the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, he's probably an upgrade over Jared Goff. Jared Goff hit 4,600 yards, over 4,600 yards twice in the last 3 years with the LA Rams offense. But this is a Rams offense that was 7th in rush attempts last year. They've got a very, very elite defense they've been building around. I just don't know if the volume's going to be there, even with the extra game for Matt Stafford. You look at Matt Stafford's history, he really hasn't been on pace to go over 4,700 yards over a 17-game season since like his 4th year in the league. So I'm going to say under here. I think everything just would need to go perfect for Matt Stafford to hit the over. And generally, when that happens, you don't really want to be on the over side. So I'm going to say under here for Matt Stafford.
All right, well, after an MVP season and a Madden cover 2 years ago, Lamar Jackson didn't even hit 2,800 passing yards last season, although he did rush for 1,000. The Madden curse continues. So is a 3,200 and a half yard passing prop going to be too high, you think?
Yeah, I do think it's too high. And I'm actually a little bit surprised that this total is even that high. It just feels like Lamar Jackson getting a bit of a bump, being just a popular player, that the books are just setting his total a little bit higher because they know they're probably going to get over action on Lamar Jackson. And looks, that's fine. But as a bettor, you need to be aware of that. This is a player who, again, going to be in another Greg Roman run-based offense. Nothing's going to change for the Ravens. They got Gus Edwards. They got Justice Hill back there, J.K. Dobbins. They're going to run the ball. All they've really added, they added Rondale Moore at the draft, which is nice. Doesn't really profile necessarily as a dominant wide receiver one. And they added Sammy Watkins, who, again, put up his lowest yards per receptions with Patrick Mahomes. Sammy Watkins is not going to get Lamar Jackson over the hump. You need production from your wide receiver to hit overs here for the passing yards. I just don't think it's going to happen for Lamar. So another under for me.
Okay, well, the Cincinnati Bengals, they're really optimistic that Joe Burrow is going to be 100% and ready for week 1 and his season passing total, obviously anticipating a full season for the second-year quarterback. It's listed at 4,250 and a half. So let's just say he's healthy. Okay, so does Burrow easily clear that number if he is?
Yeah, I really like the over here. I think you're getting a discount because he's coming in with a few question marks because of the knee. But all things considered, we've heard good things. His velocity is up from mini camp or whatever from his head coach. And look, Jesse, he was on pace to smash this total last year. Was on pace through 10 games for about over 260 yards per game. Joe Burrow now in a more higher octane offense. They've obviously added Jamar Chase at the draft. I mean, someone he's very familiar with. Look, injuries are always something to worry about. We're in a day and age where these young players and where medical science is at. I mean, it's quick bounce backs. And I just love the way Joe Burrow looked, quite frankly. For a guy who was under duress all day last season, he really did produce for the Bengals. I think you're getting a gift here. Love the over.
All right, let's talk about Josh Allen. He had an MVP caliber 2020 season. His 2021 passing yard total is set at 4,500 and a half. Now, is that a number that Allen can hit this season?
Yeah, this one is funny. You look at it and right off the bat, you're like, why are we getting such a low number? I mean, Josh Allen went over this number last year in 16 games. Obviously, he's got the extra game on the slate now to work with. Not much has changed from the Buffalo side. This is a team that went from being, one of the higher, rushes per game offenses in the league, to being just 26th in rush attempts per game last year. Now, does that kind of meet in the middle somewhere next year? Sure, it absolutely could. But you're also talking about an elite quarterback here working with one of the most elite wide receiver ones in the game, and Steph Diggs. I just don't think there's going to be enough regression here for Josh Allen not to go over this number in 17 games. You've got a big quarterback. He does like to rush the ball a little bit, which I guess is a tiny bit of a concern. But Josh Allen hasn't missed any games over the last 2 years. He's been very durable. He's still young. I just think you take what's given to you here and you say Josh Allen, even if he regresses a little bit, is going to have a shot at it. This is when we like to take the overs. And again, it's going to be another over for me.
All right, well, finally, Justin Herbert was the offensive rookie of the year last year. The DK Sportsbook expects him to eclipse the 4,450 and a half passing yards in his sophomore year. So, Jeff, do you agree?
I'm not. Yeah, that was an agree. That was an agree by me, by the way. That first
okay.
Note. I do agree. I think that we're going to see the over here by Justin Herbert. And really, this one's just more of a bet on talent. Justin Herbert, obviously the offensive rookie of the year, big arm. And you love the guys he's got to work with. I know he lost Hunter Henry, but he's still got Austin Eckler, one of the most dynamic passing backs in the league. I really do feel like he's going to be used there. You know, there's question marks here with the new head coach. It was a defensive coordinator in his last job with the LA Rams, but I just don't think that that's going to matter. I think you've got guys like Keenan Allen there still going to just be able to rack up those yards for Justin Herbert. So, you know, this one probably not as confident and over as the last two, but I'm still going to bet on the talent with Justin Herbert. I just don't really see him necessarily regressing enough to really take the under here. And I think with the extra game, you got to lean over with Herbert, one of the best young talents in the game.